G'day, Geoff Lewis here from Seriously Series, and today I'm going to be discussing with you a bit of a controversial topic it could be. And I'm going to be talking about PTO winches. PTO versus electric winches. Where do you sit? What's your opinion on this subject? Well, to find out, you know exactly what to do. Click on that subscribe button down below, click on that notification button too, but most importantly, stay tuned. So before we get started here today, I just want to take the time to thank two of our sponsors that have allowed to make this video possible. This is Kalgoorlie's own Goldfields Off-Road that actually fitted this PTO winch here, and our good friends at KLR Automotive over in New South Wales who actually sourced the winch and put the kit together so the wonderful team at Goldfields Off-Road could put it on this Parenti here today for us to talk about and to look at too. The PTO winches versus electric. What is the good, the bad and the ugly in regards to these two methods? Well, the electric winch is certainly a popular one out there on the market here today. They've come down a lot in price over recent years, but if you ask me, and look, I'm biased, you can't beat a PTO winch. The reason being is a PTO winch is mechanical. It runs off a power takeoff that actually goes off the transmission, and it means that you're able to use all the force of the actual motor and also the gearing in the transmission to get the most out of being able to pull your vehicle or your friend's vehicle out of that sticky situation. Now, with an electric winch, it's much the same, you could say, but you're dealing with a lot more complexity. And I've worked with electric winches in tropical conditions, desert conditions, you know, wet temperate climates and all the rest, or cold temperate climates. And the biggest problem with electric winches is these winches not actually being used. If you have an electric winch, you really need to maintain it well, because the one thing that electrics doesn't like, and that's water. In the tropics, you get it with condensation. In desert conditions, it's not so bad, but you've got bull dust everywhere, and that ruins your electronics big time. And then in cool temperate climates, like Tasmania for example, it's water again. Being completely soaked most of the time isn't going to do any electric circuits any help. So when it actually comes to using the winch, 9 times out of 10 I find the solenoid ends up packing up, or as I had last year, the actual motor itself burns out. So it really comes down to maintenance. The great thing about a PTO winch is that it's all mechanical. It's literally worm drive and then a couple shafts that go onto your transmission, and that's it. I've used PTO winches that hadn't been used in 30 or 40 years, and sure, did they leak a lot of oil? Most definitely. Were the bearings a little bit flogged out? Did the shafts slap around a little bit? Yeah, they did. But it still did the job. And that's that longevity that you're just not going to get with an electric winch. Now, to fit a PTO winch, it requires a lot more than an electric winch. An electric winch in its crudest form, you can basically get your winch plate, bolt it onto your chassis, put the winch on, and hook a couple cables onto your cranking battery. I wouldn't do it like that, and I'm sure you wouldn't either, but you can do that to get just to get you initially started. With a PTO winch though, you've got to think a bit more, you've got to read a bit more. With this one here, we've had to remove the actual plate that was here. That was just a bolt-on fixture. This is then bolted on in place. There's then shafts underneath that obviously go to the PTO on the actual transfer case itself. So the transfer case needs to sort of be disassembled a little bit to put the actual PTO unit in there itself. But it's all stuff that can be done, but it does require a little bit more time. Now, one of the things that many of you have probably already typed in the comments section down below is that a PTO winch is no good to you if the motor doesn't work. Well, that's true. That's very, very true. But something you could do is actually use a starter motor to turn the motor over, to turn the winch over to get yourself out of trouble. Maybe that would work, I don't know. But I think if you're in that situation where the motor doesn't start and the car's stuck and it's bogged, and well, you've got bigger problems than trying to actually winch it out. And even with an electric winch, if you're in that situation, sure, you can use the winch to pull the vehicle out, but maybe by the time the vehicle's been pulled out of that bog hole, you've got no more power in your batteries, you've got no way of running your HF radio, charging your satellite phone, the food that you've got in your fridge, which is the only food that you've got, is all going to go off, and things are going to get pretty dire. So you might want to conserve that power. I don't know. But it's all hearsay, isn't it? Anyway, this is just my 2 cents in regards to PTO winches and electric winches. I'm sure you've got your own opinion too, and a lot of experience to offer also. So please do so by typing a comment down in the comment section down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, then please check Seriously Series out on Patreon. The more support we get, the more videos we can bring your way. Anyway, I've got to go and fix a few Land Rovers, so I'll catch you in the next one. See you then.